Hi, Mr. G. This is Morgan Muir, and this is my 2.3 to 2.5 redo. Question 1 asks, using sketch notes, what is the concept of elasticity of demand, and explain with real-life examples. So the concept of elasticity of demand is it measures how much the quantity demanded of a good changes when price changes. There are two types of elasticity of demand. There's inelastic and elastic. In inelastic demand, consumers don't respond a lot, versus in elastic demand, consumers do respond a lot to a change in price. Some examples of inelastic goods would be gas, milk, or medicine. Some examples of inelastic goods would be soda or other luxury goods. Question 2 asks for the formula for the elasticity of demand. So the way I like to write the formula is elasticity of D stands for elasticity of demand is equal to the percent change in quantity demanded divided by the percent change in price. And that is the equation for elasticity of demand. Question 3 asks, create a percent change elasticity of demand question and include your calculations. Does your answer prove the product is elastic, inelastic, or unilastic? Okay, so for question 3, I wrote out a quick problem, and it says the price of a toy rises from $10 to $20, and the quantity demanded falls from 100 to 70. So first thing we have to do in order to be able to plug it into our equation is find the percent change in quantity demanded and the percent change in price. To do this, we have to set up an equation. So to find the percent change in quantity demanded, you have to use the equation new minus old divided by old times 100 to get the percent change. So to find the percent change in quantity demanded, I'm going to do 20 minus 10 all over 10 times 100 to get the percent change. After solving, I got an answer of 100 as my percent change. Now I have to find the percent change for this. Oh, I made a mistake on this one. This is supposed to be percent change in price because I used the 10 and the $20. And now I'm going to do the percent change in quantity demanded. So to find the percent change in quantity demanded, I'm going to use the same equation I did here, new minus old over old times 100 to get the percent change. For this answer, I got a percent change of 30%. And then the next step I did was I took the 100% change and the 30% change, and I plugged it into this equation, so we have a negative 30 here because we decreased. So I did negative 30 because that was for price demanded, as you can see here, and then under it you put the percent change in price, which was 100, and then you solve. So once I solved, I got a elasticity demand of negative 0.3, and because 0.3 is less than 1, the demand is considered to be inelastic. Question 4 asks, what is cross-price elasticity and what does it prove? And provide real-life examples. So in short, cross-price elasticity shows the demand for one product and how it changes when the price of another product changes. The equation for this, for cross-price elasticity, would be E, and then I just use XY for cross-price, is equal to the percent change in quantity of X, so that would be like product X, all over the percent change, it's supposed to be percent change right here, the percent change in price of product Y. And so once you plug your numbers into this formula, the answer you get can either be a positive or a negative. And so if you get a positive number, what that means is the two products are substitutes. And if you come out with a negative answer, that means the two products are complements. So in conclusion, what cross-price elasticity basically proves is if two products are either substitutes, so a real-life example of two substitutes could be Coke and Pepsi. And so you would know that when you plug these in, if you get a positive number, that they are substitutes. And then a real life example of complements could be like a printer and some ink. And so when you plug these two into the equation, like two products like this, and you come out with a negative, you would be able to tell that the printer and the ink are complements. Okay, so question 5 asks, create a cross-price elasticity question and include your calculations. How do you determine if something is a substitute or a complement? So I just wrote out a quick problem, and it says, the price of a roller coaster ticket increases 10%, and barf bag sales decrease 5%. So to solve this problem, we're going to have our cross-price elasticity of demand is equal to, and then you do the percent change would be negative 5% because sales are decreasing, so you add a negative right here, and that is the percent change in quantity of X. And then we're going to do the change in price. Price goes on the bottom, and it increases by 10%, so we're going to put a 10% right here. So this would be our equation, and then to solve, you just plug it into your calculator and get a negative 0.5. And so before we learned that a negative means that the two would be complements. So roller coaster ticket price and barf bag sales are complements. Question 6 asks us, what is income elasticity and what does it prove? So income elasticity basically measures how quantity demanded changes as income changes. And it basically can prove whether two goods are either normal or inferior goods. To determine if a good is a normal good, you can look at the pattern, and if demand increases as income also increases, then you know you have a normal good. And if something is inferior, as demand decreases, or to tell if something is inferior, as demand decreases, the demand for the product will decrease as income rises. Okay, question 7 asks, create an income elasticity question and include your calculations. Provide a real-life example. So here I just wrote out a quick example. If income increases by 10% and demand for steak rises 15%, then is the good normal or inferior? So in order to solve this, we have to use the income elasticity of demand equation. So the equation looks like E of y is equal to the percent change in quantity demanded over the percent change in income. And so we're going to plug the 10% increase in income in the demand for steak in. You will get E of y is equal to 15 over 10, which is going to equal 1.5. And because we got 1.5, so as you can see, as income increased by 10%, the demand for steak also rose. And because we got a 1.5 right here, this means that steak would be a normal good based on our equation. Question 8 is asking, what is elasticity of supply, and explain two different real-life products that have different elasticities when it comes to supply. So elasticity of supply measures how easily producers can change production when price changes. And so the equation for this is E is equal to the percent change in quantity supplied all over the percent change in price. Okay, and now I have two real-life products that have different elasticities when it comes to supply. So t-shirts have elastic supply because they are easy to make more quickly when the price increased. And a house, for example, would be a good representation of inelastic supply because it takes a long time to build and it's hard to increase the supply of houses fast because of the time it takes to build them.